Behold, the days are coming, saith the Lord, when I will make with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah a new covenant, not according to the covenant that I made for their fathers in the day when I took hold of their hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will establish for the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord, putting my laws into their mind, and on their hearts I will write them. And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach each one his neighbor and each one his brother, saying, Know the Lord, because all shall know me, from the least to the greatest, because I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities I will remember no more. In that he says, Anew he has made the first old. Now that which is grown old, and worn out with age, is ready to vanish away. Chapter 9. Now the first had indeed also ordinances of service, and the worldly sanctuary. For a tabernacle was prepared, the first, wherein is the lampstand, and the table, and the showbread, which is called Holy. And after the second veil, the tabernacle which is called Most Holy, having a golden altar of incense, and the ark of the covenant overlaid on every side with gold, wherein was the golden pot containing the manna, and the rod of Aaron which budded, and the tables of the covenant. And above it the cherubim of glory overshadowing the mercy seat, of which we cannot now speak particularly. Now these things being thus prepared, into the first tabernacle the priests enter at all times, performing the services. But into the second the high priest alone, once every year, not without blood, which he offers for himself and for the errors of the people. The Holy Spirit signifying this, that the way into the holy places has not yet been made manifest, while the first tabernacle is yet standing; which is a figure for the time present, under which are offered both gifts and sacrifices, unable as to the conscience to perfect the worshipper, only with meats and drinks, and divers immersions, ordinances of the flesh, imposed until the time of Reformation. But Christ, having come as a high priest of the good things to come, through the greater and more perfect tabernacle not made with hands, that is, not of this creation, and not through the blood of goats and calves, but through his own blood, entered once for all into the holy places, obtaining eternal redemption. For if the blood of goats and bulls, and ashes of a heifer sprinkling those who have been defiled, sanctifies to the purity of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, cleanse your conscience from dead works to serve the living God? And for this cause he is mediator of a new covenant, in order that, death having taken place, for the redemption of the transgressions under the first covenant, they who have been called may receive the promise of the eternal inheritance. For where there is a testament, there must also of necessity be brought in the death of the testator. For a testament is of force after men are dead, since it is of no strength at all while the testator lives. Wherefore, neither has the first been dedicated without blood. For when Moses had spoken every precept to all the people according to the law, he took the blood of the calves and of the goats, with water, and scarlet wool, and hyssop, and sprinkled both the book itself and all the people, saying, This is the blood of the covenant, which God enjoined in respect to you. And moreover, the tabernacle and all the vessels of the service he in like manner sprinkled with blood. And nearly all things are cleansed according to the law with blood, and without shedding of blood there is no remission. It was therefore necessary that the outlines of things in the heavens should be cleansed with these, but the heavenly things themselves with better sacrifices than these. For Christ entered not into holy places made with hands, figures of the true, but into heaven itself, now to appear in the presence of God for us, nor yet that he should many times offer himself, as the high priest enters into the holy places every year with blood of others. For then must he many times have suffered since the foundation of the world. But now once, in the end of the ages, he has been manifested for the putting away of sin by the sacrifice of himself. And inasmuch as it is appointed to men once to die, but after this the judgment, so also the Christ, having been once offered to bear the sins of many, will to those who look for him appear a second time without sin, unto salvation. The end of chapters 5 through 9 of the letter to the Hebrews, from the American Bible Union's New Testament. Recording by Mark Penfold.